back to TCS Start Frogs. Today I'm going to be doing a tour of my frog room, which has been one of the most requested videos so far. So without further ado, let's get to it, and I hope you enjoy. So first I'm going to go over all the tanks in my living room. These are all display tanks that I set up. This first one here is for a pair of Varadero imitators. This one's freshly planted. This is my Redhead Histrionica tank. Probably one of my favorite tanks. It's been going about 3 years now. Really good coverage of oak leaf creeping fig back there. This is my Bullseye tank, Bullseye Histrionica. Pretty freshly planted, maybe been going about 6 months now. So it's still got some growing in to do. And this is my Oophaga tank. There's one of them right there. And there's another one back in the corner. Got some jewel orchids in there, bunch of bromeliads. This has been going maybe a year now. And this is my Bastamentos pumilio tank. I've got a trio in there. This is an empty tank that I'm actually planning on moving 2 of the Oophaga lamani to. I've got 2 males in the other tank and 1 female and a probable female, so I'm hoping I've got 2 pairs. Move one of the pairs over here and see if they start laying eggs for me. So here we are in the actual frog room. I've got some froglets here I thought I'd show everyone. These are all tinctorius, different locales. They're all about to hit land. Most of them have their front legs. A few are a bit further behind, don't quite have their legs yet in the front, just their back legs. And this is just one of my favorite parts of the hobby, is getting to see these guys come out of the water. Pretty fun to raise tropical frogs in your house, you know. And right here I've got a temporary tank for some German line intermedius. We've got one right there. And there's another one there. They're a little bit camera shy, but really nice looking frogs. And to the right of this, I've got my Pumilio Punta Laurel tank, just temporary housing, nothing too crazy. And down here I've got some standard Leucomellas. Really great group frog. Over here I've got some subadult Azurius as well as some subadult giant orange. They're not quite to breeding age yet. I will separate them once they get to that age. Hopefully get a couple pairs out of the giant orange. I've got 5 of them in there. And the Azurius are females. And this is my Suriname Cobalt tank. And over here, these are Super Blue Auratus. Really pretty frogs, but they're a little bit shy. And this is a grow out tub where I've got some Runnetomai imitator Varadero. You can see a couple there hiding underneath that fig leaf. And here's a grow out for some Tinctorius. Got some giant orange and Azurius in there. And this is another grow out. There was a Kotari there, some Azurius, and there's also a couple Cobalts in there. There's one of the Cobalts under that leaf, little tiny guy. This is a hodgepodge of a bunch of different froglets. I throw all of them in there right as soon as they lose their tail, and then I'll separate them out once they get a little bit bigger. And this is another grow out for some Ranatamaya. I also have some Santa Isabella in there. These guys are Eumbatos imitators. This is my Eldorado Pumilio tank. I've also got some Colombian Aratus in here. They seem to get along fine. There's a lot of good places to hide in there. Lots of bromeliads for the Pumilio and a lot of ground space for the Aratus. Here are my Phyllobates vittatus. And down here I've got giant orange on the left and Azurius on the right. Here's a little better look at those giant orange. And there's one of the Azurius, that's the female there. Down here I've got a pair of powder blue Tinctorius. And over here I've got another grow out tank. There's some holdback Veraderos in there, some Vittatus, some Santa Isabels, and over here another grow out, more Veraderos, some other Ranatamaya. This is a 40-gallon tank that houses 5 Cristobal Pumilio. This next tank is my Green Sip Tinctorius tank. I've got 1 female and 2 males in there. Really gorgeous frogs. And pretty prolific as well. Produced quite a few babies for me already. And down here I've got a lone Suriname Cobalt. This is a lone female Brazilian Yellowhead. There's some orange Galax in this tank. Some juveniles. And the next tank over, I've got a group of green and black Costa Rican Aratus. Really bold, great group frogs. Here's a grow out tub of Citronella tinks. And here's another grow out tub with some Azurius. These are some of my fine spot line Azurius. There's one individual in the back here that's a bit larger that's pretty much patternless, really gorgeous frog, almost no black on it, and it's still a juvenile, so let me see if I can get it into the camera's view so you guys can see it. That one I'll be holding back and that'll go into my patternless breeding project. Here's another tub of Green Sip Tinctorius. And this next one here I've got Ranatamaya imitator. There's some standard greens in there, also some Veradero and some Eumbatos imitators. This rack is what I'd ideally like my whole frog room to look like. I'm trying to convert everything to front opening and get rid of the standard 10 and 20 gallons. This 3-in-1 tank on the top here, I've got Vanzolini on the right, some Flavio Vittata in the middle, and some Bandit imitators on the left. This is a pretty newly planted tank. It's still got a lot of growing in to do as well. Down below that, I've got some standard imitators or your green imitators. And I've got another pair of those in this next tank to the right. There's one of my oldest imitators there, pushing about 12 years. And this is my breeding pair of Varadero imitators. And down below that, I've got another pair of Azurius. This is the female. She's got a bit of a crooked back, but it doesn't seem to stop her from getting around alright. Next are my Patricias, to the left of those guys. Proven pair. Really nice, big, bold frogs. And down below that, I've got some Adelphobates galactinotus orange. There's a pair in this tank. This tank's just recently set up in the last week. And to the left of that, I've got a proven pair of powder blue Tinctorius, also a newly planted tank. And the one on the right there is the oldest frog in my collection. I think he's 16 or 17 now. He's getting up there. And over here I've got a 20 long that houses 6 Mantella aurantiaca, or golden mantellas. And then I've got my adult citronella tinks. And in here there's a group of banded imitators. Looks like they're all hiding. And down here I've got a lone female Azurius, and my breeding pair of Eumbatos imitators is also in there. To the left of that I've got another pair of Azurius, and in here I've got Intermedius. Down below that I've got some Mantella madagascarensis, and in here I've got my Santa Isabel, and to the right of that another pair of Azurius. This is a future rack for tadpoles, but right now it houses some fish and axolotls. And here's one last view of the entire room. There's some tadpoles there. I will be moving pretty soon, so all this is going to change quite a bit. I just had a couple requests for a frog room video, so I thought I'd share what's going on right now. And in the future, hopefully it'll be quite a bit different. I plan on having a lot more front opening tanks instead of the standard sizes. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed the frog room tour. If you have any questions for me or any suggestions for future videos, please comment down below. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe so you can see more videos like this. Also, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're looking to find me in other places, check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and on tcsstarfrogs.com. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.